stocking stuffers. And so the rules for this, we are going to present you a whole bunch of probably about 4 or 5 games each.
Yep.
And here are the rules. Okay. The games must be under $30-ish. There's going to be a couple of ones.
Yeah.
So for board games, around the $30 mark is what we're looking for. We're not including shipping, so just be aware that you're going to buy it online, but they also must be available. So Damien and I, these are our stocking stuffer ideas for this year. So we're actually pretty excited because we love giving games. We love recommending games. So if you're listening to this going, I don't really know what I can get this person, why not get them a little game?
Yeah.
Because especially games that are really easy to teach, people love them. Yeah. So let's go through a couple. Damien, I'm going to start with you. I want you to bring up your first stocking stuffer for 2020.
Should we do our honorable mentions first?
All right, go on. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on. Do your
so
mention.
My honorable mention is one. It is available. It's not available everywhere. If you go have a look online, you will see it. It is a locally produced game. It's produced by Good Games Publishing. It is called Land vs. Sea. The goal of the game, for anyone who's played games like Carcassonne before, it is a tile-laying game. The difference is in this one is that you have hex tiles. And what you are trying to do in the game is you are either playing as the sea player or the land player.
It's only a 2-player game, isn't it?
It plays 3 as well. There is a really interesting 3-player variant
cool.
as well. But
you want it to be like tied or something like that.
Kind of, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
But in most cases, it is a head-to-head game. And if you are the land character, you're trying to build islands, so complete land masses. If you're the sea character, you're trying to build lakes.
Yep.
And the way you get points is you will have different markers depending whether you're land or sea. Depending on how many markers you get for complete land masses, that equates points. If I remember right, I think it was the first person to 30 points wins. Super simple game. I played it a ton with my kids. We all had a blast with it. If I remember right, I think I bought it for like $32.
Yeah.
And good, like I said, Good Games Publishing, Land vs. Sea.
Fantastic. All right, Land vs. Sea is your honorable mention, and mine is a game that I just mentioned in my little segment, and it's Spot It.
Yeah.
So Spot It is a little game where it comes in a little, like, what looks like almost just an oversized tuna tin can. It's just a whole bunch of circle cards, and it's just basically an icon guessing game. I pull 2 cards out, and you just have to pick the icon that matches. And the way that the math works for this game is just kind of interesting. I watched like a number file video on how this game actually works.
Yeah.
But there will only ever be one icon that is equal and matching between the 2 cards. And all you have to do is yell it out, and oh my God, it is a pain in the butt to figure it out. Now, there are so many different variants of this. There's Spot It. There's Spot It. Harry Potter. There's the game, I believe it's called Squabble or something. There's it's not Squabble. It does have a European name as well.
And also a Japanese variant as well.
There's Japanese. There's like Spot It. There's Spot It Simpsons. Spot It like movies. There's all these different variants, but it is such a simple game. You can buy it for $24 at the moment. You can buy it in Target. Yeah, you can buy it in Target. Well, I believe the retail tax. But you can get it for under $20 at the moment.
I saw it today at Big W. The OG Spot It for $13.
There you go. Right. So my 6-year-old daughter destroys me at this game. You'd be surprised how good kids are at this, and they love it because they're just like, look at the thing, yell it out, and grab the card. They love it. They love playing.
I will
so
also
that's my
say,
honorable mention is Spot It.
Spot It. So just really, really quickly, Spot It is the game that they originally put in front of my son when he was 4. My son had a serious speech impediment when he was much younger, so he was never confident talking.
Mm-hmm.
But Spot It was a game that we could play because I got the animal variant of it, so it's just animals that you're matching, but the rules are exactly the same. And it was just, rather than him having to yell out the name of the animal, he just point to the animal on his card. And it like, honestly, the same rules apply there. If you're under 10, you're just a gun at this game.
That's
all it is.
How good they are. They are just ridiculously good. So look, your kids, if you have young kids, you will be surprised how good they are, but also how much they like this game. All right, we're going to move on to now we have 3 each that we wanted to bring to this one. So got a couple of there. So Damien, what's one of your 3? Your first of the 3.
My first. So Christmas Day, we want to kind of start it off, and we kind of want to have a laugh with each other. We want to have a laugh. So my first one was Cockroach Poker.
Our number one game, the board game gateway's
I
number one gateway game.
stole Cockroach Poker on the list. I demanded it.
That's
Look,
fine.
Cockroach Poker is, and I lied. We're not being nice to each other. Cockroach Poker is probably one of the meanest games I've ever
It's
played.
so good. It's just a simple lying game.
It's just
So
lying,
good.
but the premise of the game is there isn't a winner,
Just one loser.
just one loser.
I love
So-
that. I love that.
And so the moment someone has two critters of the same type,
Four
no,
critters.
hold on.
Oh, wait. Oh,
The
oh
mo-
yes, sorry. Yes,
the
yes,
moment
yes.
someone has two of the same type
Yeah,
of
yeah,
critter
sorry,
in
no,
front
no,
of it, they are getting targeted the whole time. So
Oh.
if they have two flies in front of them, you'd better believe that every card that's coming at them, it's a fly.
The reason why I love Cockroach Poker, though, is because of the simple fact of that not only can I catch you in a lie,
Yeah.
but I can catch you telling the truth.
Yeah.
And if you're telling the truth and I say you are telling the truth, that also counts as you losing. And so people, this is the thing. Some people who don't really like lying can feel like, this is so bad because they'll just know that I'm telling the truth. And the answer is yes. So it may not be for everyone. But holy damn, is this a fun game? Where
Yeah.
it's like, so the other way that you can lose the game is not only when you get four animals in front of you, it's also if you lose all of your cards. So if one person just can't get anything through, like I've seen some people would be like, hey Damien, this is a cockroach. And they go, nah, it's not a cockroach. And you go, damn it. And they go, hey Damien, straight away, Damien,
Yeah.
this one's a cockroach. He goes, yep, that one's a cockroach. And it is. Damn it. He just, and like you just, there's a part of you that gets vengeful because you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a damn card past
And
Damien.
it's worth saying the reason why that happens is because the moment you get caught out on a lie, you have to go again. All right, and
Yeah.
you and basically you could just end up just
Losing.
burning your entire
Yeah,
hand. I've only ever seen the game end once that way, and it happened. The reason why it happened was because it turns out the person at the table had gamed the system. They had, I think they had 3 stink bugs in front of them, but they had 5 in their hand. So they knew there were no other stink bugs in the
Right.
game. So everyone just kept going, it's a stink bug. No, it's not.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
Love
and so when the game finished and they showed us their hand, it's like, oh, that's why they knew it was never going to be a
Love
stink
that.
bug. But yeah, look, Cockroach Poker, sensational.
All right, I'm going to start with my first game. You can currently get this for $20.95 at the $20 mark. It is Herd Mentality. It's a
Nice.
relatively new game that came out within the last 12 months, and it's a really simple party game. It is literally the game where you want to be part of the herd. You don't want to be the weird pink cow that stands out from all the rest of the white cows.
Talking about, I love being the pink cow.
The way this game works is that we're going to ask a question such as, what is the best biscuit? We are all going to write down our answers secretively, and then we're going to go 3, 2, 1, and we're all going to go around the circle and reveal
Tim
what
Tam.
is the best biscuit. Tim Tam.
Tim-
That is the right answer, Damien.
Thank
You would
you.
be part of the herd. Not the
Yes.
answer that I wrote at GooberCon when I was playing this game, which was Oreo, because I've been eating a lot of Oreos. And no, I agree with you. Tim Tam is the best biscuit, but I've been eating a crap ton of Oreos in the lead up to GooberCon, and then my mind was just like, well, that's the best biscuit, obviously. And I went, Tim Tam, Tim Tam, Tim Tam. Oh no! So the game ends when one player gets to 7 points, and you only get points if you're in the herd, right? So
Yep.
if you're in the herd, great. Now, if you're in the minority and you are the only person, you get the pink cow, and you're now the standout. The only way that you can lose the pink cow from this particular point onwards is if there is a super minority, which is there is one person who stands out from that point. So even if in the next round, if 2 people had said Oreo, but 4 people said Tim Tam, I still get the cow.
Yeah.
Because I didn't,
And-
there's not a singular person.
And the penalty with holding onto the cow is that you cannot score a point.
Exactly. Well, you can score points, you just can't win the
Oh,
game.
that's
So
right.
even
Sorry,
if
yes,
you
you
get to
can't win
7
the game.
points and you're still the cow, it doesn't matter. You
Yep.
lose the game.
Yep.
Herd Mentality is such a light, fun, simple game. Highly recommend. It's $20. If you see it, pick it up. It's so good.
Yep.
All right, moving on to your second stocking
Okay.
stuffer.
Second stocking stuffer that is really hard to say. Say
I
that
know.
5 times fast. It is the party card game, which I got many, many years ago. I really need to get a second copy because my copy is so heavily tattered. It has quite literally traveled the world.
You can fit it in your pocket.
Can literally fit it in my pocket, and that is 6 Nimmt. I maintain 6 Nimmt is my favorite party card game.
Love that.
It is super cheap. I think
Super simple.
super simple. Like, so the most I've ever paid for it is $18 Australian.
Nice.
I think that's the most I've ever paid for it.
It's good.
So when so the premise of the game is basically you have 4 rows of cards. Your goal is to not close off a row by putting the 6th card there. If you do, you are picking up all the cards in that row.
And however many cow symbols you see in front of you, that's however many points you get.
And the goal of the game is golf score, to have the fewest points at the end of the round.
Well, technically, you want to have the most amount of points because the way that scoring is done is you start on 40 points and then once.
But
it goes
backwards.
Exactly, it's easier to go the other way.
Yeah.
Everyone starts at 0 and you count up to 40.
And the cool thing about the game is that you always have this decision of, do I put the next card on the line or do I just create a massive gap and just stuff everyone up? And the correct answer is always create a massive gap and stuff
always.
everyone up.
Every time. Why would you not?
But the fun part is that you are blindly putting your card down on the table. So while you may have a plan based on the current board state, if you're playing with 5, 6 or more people, once everyone flips a card, you don't know what the board state is going to be by the time it's your turn to put the card down because the cards are put in numerical order.
And they're simultaneously and then resolved in ascending order.
That's right.
So if you put in the biggest card, all of a sudden you may be like the 8th card that gets played.
But that's fine because if it turns out that the whole board state has changed and the rows have been taken and so on and so forth, and you've just dodged all that madness, and then your card goes in onto a clean row, you're cheering.
Love that.
But if you're the person the worst feeling is when you flip all the cards and you immediately see you go, I'm the 4th person, but I'm the 3rd one in that row. That means I'm the 6th one. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So
it's a great game.
It's
really
so
simple.
much fun.
Plays up to a lot of players, which is
it goes up to 10. It's best at 4 or 5. But look, it's ideal Christmas Day sort of fun times. So 6 nimped. Highly rate it.
All right. My second game is a game which has I blew budget a little bit here. It's $35 at the moment. It's a game called Monikers. Now, Monikers is what I like to call stupid charades, but it's better charades in the way that it works.
Yeah.
So the way that it works is very much, it is a highly curated pack of cards that you give to everyone, and they have names and you have to get them to guess it. So we start off in taboo style. So, in taboo, you have to get people to say a word by, say, Damien, this is a creature that likes to bark at you in the morning. It's your dog. Cool. Moving on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
The way that this works, though, is this highly curated deck of cards has very specific words on them, such as the woman who spilt coffee on herself at breakfast at McDonald's. Now, you have to say those words accurate, 100% accurate. If you do not say it 100% accurate, you don't get the card, okay? And so there's other things. So that's just one example of the card. We then have to go around, and this plays best, what I think, so you play in pairs. It plays best at 4 or 5 pairs, no more than that, okay? But then we go around, and every time you have to get it. And so the round ends when we keep going around, and then until everyone has a card, and each card has a certain amount of points, either 1 to 5 points, depending on how hard they are, how hard they say. And then, cool, we tally up our points, and we go again.
Yep.
Round number 2 is we have the exact same cards in front of us, except now we're doing charades. And so I'm not allowed to speak. Or no, I do one word taboo. So I've got to say one word to get you to guess the exact thing. Now remember, you may be saying, well, 20 words are really hard to remember. Well, when it comes back around the circle, you swap who was the guesser and who was the clue giver.
Yeah.
So if I've seen a card and I happen to be, I will try and remember it. You do one word taboo. Great. Do it again. Then we get to round 3, which is we do charades. And so trying to mime the woman at McDonald's who spilled coffee on herself at breakfast is hilarious. And then you can then shut up and sit down and have a great video of this. But they do a whole bunch of other things where it's like, okay, then we have the 4th super secret round, which is you have to get behind a bench and use your finger puppets and do finger puppets of trying to, and then you can come up with as many rounds as you want. Highly recommend. It's great with a couple of eggnogs in you. It is really fun. It plays best at 4 or 5. Don't play it with 8. Like if you have 20 people, don't play it because it slows down.
Yeah,
you need people to fly around. You need the cards to fly around the circle quickly so that you can remember what it is. But if you do, trust me, it's great. Monikers is $35 at the moment. Highly, highly recommend.
Nice. Nice.
All right, your final stocking stuffer for 2023.
I'm going to say second to last. I'm going to add one
Oh,
more.
he's going to
after
add one
this.
more. He's going rogue. He's going off
rogue.
script.
I'm going to go rogue. But
Go for
the
it.
one that I originally had on my list, and I maintain it is. So I have played a couple games of this ilk recently, but just one is probably my favorite word game that isn't Decrypto at the moment. I didn't add Decrypto in there only because, one, Decrypto is a little more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And two, Decrypto has a little more overhead. Decrypto is probably not the game I'd put in front of family who, after a couple wines and trying to explain the game, they're just going to, can't we just play a game of cards?
Yeah.
Whereas Just One, I've put in front of these same people and we were laughing 5 minutes later.
One is completely a cooperative game as well, and one is a
that's
team
right.
game.
Yes,
so it's like
yeah.
we can say, hey, we're all working together, so it's fine.
Exactly right. Like I'm not gonna say they're apples and apples, but for the audience on on Christmas Day, and also making sure we stay within the budget as best as possible, Just One's a better fit. Just One is a word game. What happens is that everyone is cooperating, but every round there will be one person, and this person is who has to guess.
Every question to this game as well that you have about it can be answered by the title.
Yes.
Just one.
So what happens is the person who has to guess the word draws a card off the deck.
How many cards?
Just
one. Sorry. Sorry.
I had a moment.
Sorry, I got you in your train of thought there.
You're good.
Bad.
And then what happens is that they do not look at this card, but there will be 5 words on this card, and they will just randomly pick a number. At least that's the way we play it. And everyone at the table will see what the word is. They'll go, "Yep," and then the card gets put down, and then everyone gets a minute. I think it's a minute.
You just have to write a word.
You have to write a word. And everyone writes just one word on their little sort of prism thing that they have in front of them. I don't know why it's a prism.
It's because you can put it on the table and then you can rest the card in it, so it shows people. It's like a little it's a triangle.
I didn't think
It's
of
a
that.
little whiteboard triangle,
Yeah,
like
okay.
a nameplate.
Okay.
Because one end's got a little lip that you can rest the card in.
Clearly, we don't do that. So anyway, but the kicker in the game is that before the guesser actually gets to open their eyes and see all the words that are written, everyone who's written a word down shows each other the word they've written. Anyone who has written the same word or a plural of the same word or a hyphenated version of the same word for my brother-in-law who may be listening to this and makes up words, they have to rub out that word.
Because we're only allowed to have
just one word
of the same sort of word. But if you have multiples, you rub them all out.
Yes.
That word is gone.
So then once that's happened, you then ask the person who's guessing to open their eyes. They have a look. And let's say you're playing with 6 people and the 5 other people have written 5 different words. Fantastic. The person who's guessing has 5 words to look at to try and guess.
How many guesses do they get?
And they get just one guess. But what
that bit doesn't get old.
What invariably happens though is you will have 3 or 4 people who will write the same word, and they'll go, all right, fine. So they rub out their word, and then the person opens up their eyes and they realize they've got one word.
They've got 2 clues to guess.
And it's like, I don't know. The highlight in the game is when the guesser has one clue, and they're looking at it and they get the word. Yeah. And it's like, it's a small miracle, but. Or when they've got 5 clues and they still can't guess the word. Just One's a ton of fun. It's a co-op game. It's silly fun. I've never scored the game ever.
We score it, but never it doesn't matter. It's just
we play the game till we get sick of it, and it generally takes a long time before we're sick of it. So
nice.
Just One's really good. It's like $25 last time I checked.
Right. Well, my final game is Decrypto, the
Nice.
game that you badmouthed.
I didn't badmouth. I just said it's a little more expensive.
No, it's not. You can find it at the moment. If you go to boardgameoracle.com, right, you can find it for $21.
That is a bargain.
I know. And as soon as that was
cheap.
one of the reasons why I put it on my list, because as soon as I saw it at that price, I went, you have to get Decrypto.
Yeah.
Now, Decrypto is a team-based word guessing game, but where you're not actually guessing words, you're guessing a 3-digit clue. But what makes this game great is that everyone in my team, we have 4 words, and each word is assigned to a number. Very simple. And then one player is the clue giver. They will get 3, 1, 2, and they have to give 3 one-word clues to get these team to guess 3, 1, 2.
Yeah.
So we're playing word association to guess a code here. Pretty simple. The catch is the other team is listening in on all those clues, and they have their own 4 clues. The catch is, starting from round 2, the other team gets the first guess at the code. So the more words you have associated with a similar sort of theme or group makes it easier to guess the words. You win the game if you are able to guess the opponent's code twice, but you lose the game if your team fails to guess the code twice. So you are trying to skate this line of being obvious but not too obvious, because as we get into the later rounds, it becomes this knife edge of, I don't know what I need to say to get you to guess this word, but I'm going to start doing 3 steps around Mercury to get you there, and no one has no clue. It is so good. I cannot, like, we talked about this in our GooberCon episode in the review. I cannot explain to you how good this game is. I will debate you, though, to say this is the perfect game to put in front of people who have wind up a little bit, because the way that I can teach you the game is by playing the game. I can just say, get me to guess the code by using 3 one-word clues. And once they get that, then you just bring in, okay, now you guys get first guess. What?
Yeah.
They get first guess. You didn't, and they just watch people's head go, oh no. Yeah. It's so good.
But to me, the game gets really good around round 5.
Yeah.
And you've got someone who has to come up with words that haven't been used yet, that are unique enough so that the other team doesn't get it, but yet still obvious enough so that way your team still is able to guess the code. That just hurts. That really hurts.
It is so good. It is such a good game. It's my dad's favorite game. Like just period. It's one of his favorite games. This is Decrypto. I will say as well, we do play with the Hail Mary rule, which is that if your team has lost, you get 1 Hail Mary shot to guess the 4 words. And if you can guess all the 4 words, you win the game. Because that's our Hail Mary. It has not happened yet, but we've gotten close. We've gotten 3 before, 3 of the 4. So we've gotten to those 6 and 7 rounds where you're pretty sure you're on the right track of what this word is, but you just that last word. So look, so those are our stocking stuffers. So we have.
I'm gonna say one more.
Sorry, and
I'm gonna say one more. All right, so I had one more that didn't quite make the list, and I kind of regret it. So I want to say it. Telestrations is my other one.
I have not played that in years.
Telestrations is one, and you know what? And it's for that reason. You can find it at Big W.
Yep.
It is the only game that it isn't mass market, but yet it's available in all mass market stores. It's under $30 consistently. And it is such a silly, fun game. Again, it's another game I've never scored formally, but it is Pictionary, but
with word guessing.
But it's basically Pictionary via telephone.
It's Pictionary Chinese whispers.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the way the game works is that everyone at the table will have a little sort of flip book whiteboard in front of them, and they will draw a card, and everyone will agree what number to look at on that card. And so everyone's drawing their own card. That card will have a word on it, and you got to draw a picture within a time limit that represents that word. You draw your picture in secret, and then everyone passes their books to the left. The next phase is the people look at these ridiculous pictures, they flip the page, and they write down what they think the word is, or the word was based on the picture. They then pass it on. Same thing, and then the third person reads the word that's been written. They can't look at the first picture. They flip the page. They then draw a picture based on that word. This repeats. This goes all the way around the circle until eventually you come back with your own flip book. And then at that point, you score. You have a look at whether the team was successful or not. Again, I've never scored this game because the best part is the reveal, is when you go, okay, so my word was this. And I remember one time my word was mermaid. So I drew what I thought was a mermaid. And I'm pretty sure what came back was a cat playing table tennis. Because it was just the most bizarre thing. And that's what it is. We were in hysterics.
I love it.
So, yeah.
During COVID, a particular app online got a lot of traction for Zoom play, I think, called Gardic Phone.
Yeah.
It's essentially exactly that. In Telestrations, the Gardic Phone was basically this kind of Pictionary Chinese whispers, but just digitally. And that's why it's so much better in person, because it's just like that reveal, like, what?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Now, I will say it probably won't fit in a stocking.
No.
It's unnecessarily big, the box. It
does have to fit like 8 little whiteboard flip books in there. And
fair, but I still think the box will be smaller. But anyway, but it still fits all the other criteria. It's a ton of fun. It's a great group activity, and it's under $30.
Yep. So that is actually a really good pick, a really good late entry there. So that is Telestrations, Land vs. Sea, 6 Nimmt, Just One, Cockroach Poker, Herd Mentality, Decrypto, Monikers, and Spot It. 9 really good games, relatively cheap. Like we're not just saying buy them because, hey, they're cheap. We actually kind of really like these games. That's why we're recommending them to you. We do think they all have a really good place in our collection. Most of us actually own these games and have multiple copies of said game because, like, I have Spot It, you have Spot It.
Yeah.
I have Decrypto, you have Decrypto. Like, we own these games and we recommend them to you because we actually do think they are quality. So if you're looking for a gift, now's the time to do it. We use now I've mentioned it, but we do use a site called www.boardgameoracle.com, and it is a site that will look at all of the online shops around Australia, and it will tell you where the best price is. So if you are inclined to do online shopping, have a look there. I can recommend that. Or if you have specific distributors, we can recommend Let's Play Games Australia. Gameology is pretty good, and Advent Games are 3 really good ones that we have in those
also
areas.
Let's Play Games. Good
Games
Games
Australia. Sorry, Good Games Australia.
Good Games is another one. But also as well, now's actually the time of the year to grab it. So
pre-Christmas sales.
Board game stores will be having their Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. Yes, board game stores jump on that madness as well.
That option out right now because this is about to be released the day before Black Friday.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this, the deals are probably happening.
That's right. But also as well, a lot of these games are available at Big W, Target, Kmart. Check out the sites. Honestly, it's really great that these games are appearing more and more in mass market.
Yep.
Because they deserve to be, because they are really good. But again, look, you got that coworker, you Secret Santa at work. It's horrible. I know. I haven't done it in a while, but I don't miss it.
Get them herd mentality.
Buy them.
Just one.
Yeah. And it's like, my budget's like $15. There are a few games in there that definitely fall into that category, and they will love you for it. It's definitely better than, I don't know, the crappy bottle opener you thought you were going to get for them. Don't buy them that. Buy them a game.
They will remember it.
Yeah.
All right.